Hey everybody, today I'm going to share my story through pregnancy and why I've decided to prepare for unassisted home birth. It was definitely not what I expected. I didn't even expect to be pregnant. I met my wonderful partner Elon in Guatemala at Lake Atilan. If anyone's been, I would love to know what you think about that place. I went there to do a 30-day, we'll say meditation course, but it's more of a metaphysics course. It's really, really incredible. And I met my partner there, and we went on this crazy journey. I definitely went into the dark night of the soul. I had a few moments of where do I go now, because something inside of me knew that life was about to change, and I already had my world set up for me. I already created this yoga retreat where I was living off the land, where we had a community there. And I thought that I would have my family there. I thought that I would meet someone who would be into the same things and would be loving that place. But it turns out when we went back, we didn't have the... As a family, I'll put it this way. As a family, as this new energy, it didn't match what was happening in that place, because that place needed all of me. It needed all of everybody. It was so given, but at the same time, it just needed love and nurturing. And I realized after many moments of questioning my relationship, I realized it wasn't the relationship, but this new energy that we had decided to create. Maybe not even decided, it just really just came from, I don't know, it felt like magic. Honestly, I was never expecting this. So then we decided that we would leave, and also we didn't have a choice at one point because Elon's visa ran out. So that's why we decided to go to Costa Rica. And one thing that drew us there, hey guys, one thing that drew us there was that there was this incredible midwife that we found online, and she was going to help with the home birth. At this time when I found this midwife, I was also doing my doula training, which really fit in so nicely with my nursing background and my experience as a yoga teacher and my passion for it. So I really loved that, and that kind of, I stepped into like a new way of being. I never considered having a home birth, and actually when I'd heard people having home births, I was kind of confused at why they would put themselves and the baby at risk. And it was funny because at that time I just met Elon's sister-in-law who'd had a home birth, and a woman who came to my yoga classes in France, she was telling me, you need to look more into home births and see what you can do here in France. And I was still a little bit wary. I imagined that I would be in a hospital. I'd not been around anybody who'd given birth. I'd seen my friends through social media and through staying in contact, but I'd never been there because I'd been traveling or I'd been in France. And then doing the doula training, connecting to women who were already in this field and actually were already pregnant or who had their children, really made me consider this. And the doula training was not about home births or unassisted births at all. I don't even think it covered so much in that. It was more about just tuning into what is happening at this time in this transition. So I looked deeper into it. When I got to Costa Rica, we already had the idea and kind of the knowing that we were not going to be in a hospital unless we needed to be. So we already had that. But then another thing was we didn't know if we were able to stay because of the pandemic at the moment. We didn't know whether we should go back to Canada or England. So we said we can't rely on this midwife because we would have to move there for a few months and be with her, and we didn't know if we were going to leave. So we kindly said, thank you, but we can't go on this journey with you because we don't know where we're going to be. there are a few midwives around here that I have details for. If you would like them, please let me know. And they are happy to travel. They are happy to stay with you. And they are wonderful. They're so, so, so nice. And I would recommend them just from how I've interacted with them and their energy, and from people I've spoke to who have also had them as a support. But as I went along this journey of revealing some truths, I suppose revealing the fears that I had inside that had been given to me by society, by my family, just ingrained, I looked to see what was underneath and why was I so fearful, and did I need to be fearful? That was a fly, by the way. And the things that concerned me, I decided to go deeper, and I decided to lift the veil, really see what was underneath and where this fears come from, and how I can still go along with this this journey through with an unassisted birth at home. How can I do that? What knowledge do I need? And that's when I dug deeper, and a lot of this time in Costa Rica has been doing my own research, connecting to other mothers and families and doulas and midwives, and understanding what's actually happening and learning how to notice the signs, and mainly tuning into your intuition, because we do know everything. We know when something is feeling good and when something's not feeling so good, and we are open that we may have to go to a hospital if something does arise. If something doesn't go the way that we imagined, then we have support here. So it's not like we've just said, okay, we're going to have an unassisted home birth and now we're not going to think about it. We are always considering what we would need to do, not out of fear but out of preparation. So for me, I found that I've spent a lot of time focusing on my physical body to make sure that it is strong and that it is open and that it is ready for what's about to come with the birth, as ready as I can be. I have my practice that I do in the morning, at nighttime. I think it's very important to drop into that inner wisdom and intuition, and I find that through my meditation practices. And it's so empowering as you go down this journey that you don't need someone to tell you what to do, because this is not a medical condition. This is something natural that we should be so grateful for, and we can step into this power. And I know that some women have some unforeseen complications, or there's things that run in their family, and I understand that, and there's still a way that you can make it as natural as possible. And that just means getting the knowledge, doing the research, tuning into your body, not avoiding your fears, and connecting to other women and families that are going through this. How can you get the support? And what else have I been doing? Making sure that I eat well. One of the things for me, one of my fears was that I would hemorrhage. I don't know where that came from, because I had never known anyone. Maybe I'd heard a story once or something like that. But the more I looked into this, I saw how much it was to do with nutrition and how much it was to do with fears and inducing labor and rushing the baby. These things that are pushing and not really giving your body everything that it needs to support this journey of your baby coming earthside. So that was one of the things. And now I've put everything into place that I feel that I could with the knowledge that I have. I feel confident that I'm doing the best that I can. And I also, when you start to look into things, you see the methods that women have been using for thousands and thousands of years. Like, just for example, eating a little bit of the placenta, because it has so much oxytocin in it, it starts to contract the uterus and starts to seal up where there's been the separation from the placenta and the uterus. And when you look into it, it's so interesting, and I feel so connected to the women who have ever had children, and the women who will have children, and the women who won't have children, and families and relationships, and just the whole connection to everything that we're a part of here on earth. It's a really spiritual, heart-opening experience, but also super dark sometimes, because there are things that we always cling on to. There are our old ideas, our old beliefs, we're going through a transition, so we're going from the known to the unknown into motherhood, and there's that bit in between where we just don't know. And there's times when I've had a nostalgic feeling for my old life, for my own old creation, my life, my home, like everything has transformed, looking at it a different way. And when I accepted this, something opened up. It was amazing. It was like I wasn't stuck in my own head anymore, and my heart opened, and I could see and be so grateful. And that's another thing with, I suppose it would be labeled as depression in the medical world. And I will say that to relate, because that's what it feels like. And I said things and I felt things that really separated me from myself, the pregnancy, my relationship. And I would just say to anyone going through this that it's okay, and not to be ashamed or guilty for it. It's something that's naturally arising, and all you need is a little bit of support to take you over, or trust to stay with it. That's one thing I would say, is to stay with it, to see what's coming up, and be as open as you can in your relationship with whoever's close to you. And I know that this is difficult sometimes. Well, for me, I'm the type of person who would react and then push people away and kind of just go on my own and shut the world out. So that was something that I had to learn, and I really have. It's been an incredible journey for me, and within our relationship, for me and Elan, we have grown so much. We are seeing each other's shadows and fears, however you want to put them, and we're there loving each other for whatever's coming. I know his fears, he knows mine, and I would say if you're planning an unassisted or even just a home birth, that you need to look at both of your fears, whoever's involved, because if them fears aren't addressed, you'll feel them. You're so connected, the baby will feel them. So if it's that there's a part of you that doesn't believe that this is safe, then that's where you need to make other considerations. That's just from my point of view, though. You will know as you go on this journey. So I'd like to know how you decided to have a unassisted home birth, or just a home birth with a midwife, or why you decided to have it in hospital. Or I'd like to know your story, and also if you're preparing, what are your considerations, what are your fears, what maybe do you need a little bit of insight into. And I would love to share all the knowledge and information that I have found and see if that can help you. So until then, I look forward to hearing from you all. I hope you have a beautiful day, and thank you for tuning in. If you want to hear more about anything else, let me know. I'm just seeing where this vlog goes. I have no idea. And also just subscribe, because I'm probably going to put some random stuff up here. Who knows? Bye.